Morning everybody, this is a short video this morning on the topic of fate and free will in Macbeth. You are unlikely to have an exam question that uses either of those terms, particularly with Eduqas, but they are key ideas in the play, and by talking about them and writing about them in your essay, you show that you have got to grips with a very important thematic idea that Shakespeare was dealing with. So firstly, let's have a look at fate. So fate, or destiny, is the idea of something that was meant to happen. It's meant to be. So the idea that there are aspects of life that are already planned out and that certain things are destined to happen no matter what you do. And we see that a lot in certain books and certain ideas, the idea that it's kind of in the stars, it's destined to happen. So the central way that that is shown in Macbeth is obviously the prophecies that the witches give Macbeth's character at the beginning of the play. When they say that he will be king hereafter, it makes him believe that that is his fate, that is his destiny. It is meant to happen no matter what. And Shakespeare plays with that idea that there are fixed things that will happen in our future timeline, and he plays it off against the idea of free will. So free will is, and obviously it's particularly with English literature, so I'm not using RS definitions here, but free will talks about the power that you have, your own agency to make decisions and choices that shape your own future. And so if we play that off against the predictions, while the witches give Macbeth predictions that make it seem like his future to be king is fate, he chooses to kill Duncan to make that happen. Nobody forces him. Nobody tells him that the way that he is going to become king is through killing the current king. He makes that decision himself. He uses his own free will. So then, did Macbeth become king because it was his fate, or did he choose to take action to make it happen? And Shakespeare doesn't give a clear answer. And even though we are doing the exam board Eduqas, so we aren't focusing on the context of what was happening in Shakespeare's time, you will probably know that this is written not long after James I is crowned King of England, and if he of course was King of Scotland, it was not necessarily a widely popular decision, and we have tons of the plots against James, including famously the Gunpowder Plot. And so there are lots of ideas going on politically in England at the time around what was pre-planned by fate, by God, and what are the decisions that are made through people's own agency that might make things happen either against their destiny or with their destiny. So it's an interesting topic to talk about. It is one that you are going to want to discuss in your play, and you're going to want to hold some tension between those two ideas, that there is both the issue of fate and the issue of free will in the play. So if we have a look at some of the key moments in the text, it's worth you having a think through these and deciding for yourself which you think is at play here. Is it fate? Is it free will? Is it a bit of both? And how would you phrase that when you come to do your essay writing? So I hope that helps you understand that theme a little bit better. As I've said already, it's unlikely to be a question in itself, But if you get questions about power, about supernatural, about some of the key issues in the play, you are going to want to deal with the issue of fate and destiny.